Welcome back. Mahoning County Public Health is offering free fentanyl test strips and Narcan overdose kits. These can play a huge role in combating deadly overdoses now more that those street drugs are often laced with fentanyl. Joining me now to talk about how these tools can help save lives is the Associate Director with the Mahoning County Mental Health and Recovery Board, Brenda Hedinger. Brenda, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, can you explain how the test strips work?
Sure. So the test strips just allow a person to test a little bit of the drug that they've received to know if there's fentanyl in the drug mixture or not.
Now, some people might see these strips as enabling drug use. I'm sure you've heard comments, but what is your office's stance on offering them?
So oftentimes what we're seeing right now is people who may only use stimulants have no tolerance to opiates. And so when they get this fentanyl within their cocaine or within their amphetamines, it's killing them. And we can't help somebody who doesn't survive the drug. So we want to make sure that treatment is available. We want to make sure that people have access to those services. And we want to make sure that we can keep them alive long enough to get them into recovery.
Now, the CDC says these fentanyl test strips are a low-cost method of preventing, like you mentioned, but I guess how do they help reduce overall harm? In your opinion, would you say that this is something that people do use and do check?
They do check. We encourage people not to use alone and make sure they have a Narcan kit on hand. Here locally, if someone is rescued with Narcan and transported to Mercy Health downtown or Mercy Health St. Elizabeth's Boardman, we can put a peer recovery specialist right there with them to talk to them, somebody who's in recovery themselves, to try to really help them get into services.
What are the most common drugs people are trying to buy on the streets you often see is laced with fentanyl and they didn't even know it?
Most of the time it's cocaine here locally. Nationwide, it's cocaine, amphetamines. Most of the opiate supply is almost pure fentanyl now.
Okay. And how can people get a hold of the test strips and the Narcan if they need it?
They can reach out to Mahoning County Public Health at 330-270-2855, extension 125, or they can go right to mahoninghealth.org and search for Project Dawn. They can get all of the information and request them right online.
Brendan, we often talk about Trumbull County and all the overdoses that they see, but how did Mahoning County fare last year when it came to the number of opioid overdoses that you are seeing, and are we seeing any progress in the fight against it?
We are. Last year we saw 156 overdose deaths, but we have started that steady with 2022, which was at 157. So as we saw that increase during the pandemic, we're starting to see it level back out and start turning the other way.
I know you're working hard on the front lines to make that happen as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us right here at 5.
Thank you so much for giving this information to the public.
Absolutely.